So before I start, let me take a few minutes in explaining you what to expect from this training and the program schedule. I've scheduled this demo class for today and tomorrow. We'll be having this session same time, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And the regular classes will start from Monday. The timings would be same, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. India time. So the course duration would be around 2 months. So we'll be spending closely 2 months in trying to understand ABAP programming. So thanks again for joining this session, and if you're facing any issues with my audio or you can't see my screen, chances are your internet bandwidth is low. So try closing any open applications, anything that you're downloading, uploading, just close them all. So that should improve the session. So today and tomorrow we'll be having these demo sessions. Since most of you are new to SAP, today I'll be spending some time in explaining what is this SAP all about. And since this training is about ABAP, we'll try to understand the role of an ABAP consultant, what exactly we do as an ABAP consultant, and then it's just a high-level overview, nothing technical. In tomorrow's session, we'll talk about more technical stuff. We'll try to understand the architecture of an SAP system. We'll try to understand how the SAP system is set up and stuff like that. So that should be a more technical overview on the SAP system. And from Monday, we'll be starting the regular classes. I wouldn't be teaching you about programming in these demo sessions because it doesn't make sense jumping into ABAP directly. There are a few other things you need to know before I even talk about ABAP programming. So how do we interact today? On your interface, you see a few options. One of them is to raise your hand. Your microphone is on mute by default. So anytime you have questions, you can click on that raise hand button and I'll unmute your microphone and take your questions. Okay. So please keep the session interactive. Ask as many questions as you want. So as I said, few of you are typing that you're not able to hear my voice. That's because of your internet bandwidth. Try closing any of the open applications. So before we get started, let me quickly see how many of you are new to SAP. You can raise your hand if you're new to SAP. Okay. And those who do not have a microphone, you can use the chat option also to type your questions. But those who have a working microphone, please raise your hand anytime you have a question so that others can also hear what you're asking. And what all you'll be getting as part of this training, I'll be conducting these live sessions where you can attend every day. Apart from that, you'll also get access to all the recorded sessions. So you can go through those recorded sessions also. So that really helps you to understand the topic better. Even if you miss a session in between, or if you lose your concentration, you don't follow something, you can always check out the recording of that particular topic, and you can listen to that recording as many times as you want, and that really helps you to understand the concept better. So once you enroll, you'll get access to my website, which I'll be showing you at the end of the class, and you can log into the website to access the recorded sessions, the course material. There are quite a few articles on each topic that we are going to discuss, so which you can read. There's some material which you can download, and we also have an e-learning module where you can go through the articles, the recorded sessions, work on the assignments that I give, and then finally take one weekly test just to test your progress. So all this I'll be showing you at the end of this session. And any other questions you may have, like about your qualifications, stuff like that, we'll discuss that at the end of the class. Because I have people joining from different countries, so for somebody it could be too early, or for somebody it could be too late in the night. So let's get started with the session, and At the end of this class, I would take all your questions. And during this session, anytime you have any questions relevant to the topic we are discussing, simply raise your hand and I'll take your questions. So, is my voice low? Padma Kumar?
Yes. Do we get access to the labs if you wanted
Yes.
practice? How do we do that?
You'll be provided the access. So as I said, at the end of the session, I'll be telling you all that.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay. Anil? Sunny?
Yeah, hi Bandari.
Yeah. Go ahead, please. You have a question?
Yeah, so you said that questions will be dealt at the end of the session, right? Then I will ask.
Okay, no problem. You can lower your hand. Any question you have related to the topic we are discussing, just interrupt me by raising your hand and I'll take your question. Any other questions, I'll answer at the end of the session. Fine then, so let's get started with today's session. So, since many are new to SAP, I'll start with explaining what is ERP. SAP is an ERP product, so let's quickly understand what is this ERP architecture, and then we'll move on to understand the role of an ABAP consultant, what exactly we do as an ABAP consultant in an organization, right? So, as I said, anytime you have any questions, simply raise your hand and I'll take your questions. So, anyone would quickly like to tell me what is this ERP? What do you understand by ERP? Those who are already into SAP or working in an ERP product would like to try? What do you understand by ERP?
Enterprise resource planning. Enterprise resource planning.
Okay, what exactly that means?
The resources of the enterprise has to be planned ahead.
Okay. Let me ask someone else. Srinivas?
Yeah, this is a ERP enterprise resource planning, right?
Yes. So what do you understand by that?
Um, any enterprise can use this application to get their problems solved
Okay.
in corporate sections.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sunny? Sunny, would you like to answer? Okay, anyways, so let me explain. ERP, as most of you know, it's enterprise resource planning, but what exactly that means? Before we understand ERP, let's try to understand what is a non-ERP architecture. How does a non-ERP system works basically? We all know that every organization will have different departments and each department has a specific role to play in running our business, right? So if you look at this on the screen, I have different departments. So to understand this concept of ERP, let's assume I have a company. I run this company wherein my business is to sell laptop computers. So to run this business, I have different departments. So let's say in my company, I have sales departments, I have this materials department, I have the production department, and I have this finance department, right? So my business is to sell laptop computers. So my business process is very simple. I take orders from my customers, and based on the orders, my sales team will take care of that, getting the orders. Then my materials department will take care of getting all the raw material that is required to build these laptop computers, like the motherboards, hard disk, RAM, all this stuff. And my production department will take care of producing or building the laptop. And all the accounting stuff is handled by my finance department. So This is a very simple business I run. Now, different companies follow different manufacturing process. Let's say in my company, I follow BTO process, that is build to order. If I'm selling a very expensive laptop, which I don't expect to sell too many of them, I get very few orders for those laptops. Those products I can keep under BTO process, build to order, wherein I'll be building the laptop only after I receive the order. So I don't spend money in buying all the raw material and keep the laptop ready even before my customer wants to buy it. What I would do is once my customer places an order for a laptop, then I'll start procuring the required raw material, and then I'll build the laptop and then ship it to my customer. So that's a BTO process. For few laptops which are fast moving, very normal configuration which is required by everyone, those laptops I can keep it under a CTO process, configure to order, wherein I already have all the required raw material in my for the laptop, and then all I have to do is the moment I receive an order, I have to simply configure the laptop based on my customer's requirements and then ship it to my customer. Just to understand this process, just to relate what I'm going to explain, I've just pulled out this Dell website. If you see in this Dell website, there are different models of laptops. For few, they're saying estimated ship date is 18 Jan. And for few, they have an estimated ship date of less than 5 days, right? If I open any other model, so here if you see, for this model they are saying estimated ship date is around 22nd Jan. For this it is 17th Jan, right? So few they are shipping within 5 days, few this one is shipping within a day, because for this they are following the CTO process where they have all the raw material available. They have to simply configure it as per my requirement and ship it. So they just need 1 day for that. Whereas for other laptops, if you see, this laptop has an estimated ship date of 30th January. That means they need at least 20 days before they can ship this laptop, because it's a new model. So maybe they are following a BTO process for this model, right? I don't work for Dell, so I'm not too sure what process they follow. But for our example, let's assume that for this model, XPS 12, I'm following a BTO process, whereas for this model, Inspiron 15Z, I'm following a CTO process. So how does the business transaction work here? First, my sales team will get the orders. They'll visit the customers. They'll take the requirements. A few customers may want a i5 processor with a 500 GB hard disk. Few customers may want an i7 processor with 1 TB hard disk. So my sales team will get me all that information. Once the sales team gets this information, if you're following a BTO process, then they'll pass on this information to my materials department. Then my materials department will get me the required raw material to build this laptop. Once the material team procures the raw material, then the production team will build the laptop, and let's say we also have this logistics department which will take care of shipping the product to our customer, and then whatever amount the customer pays, that would be handled by the finance department. So that's how it works. And as you can see on the screen, in non-ERP setup, every department is connected to their own database. That means if the sales guy is creating a sales order to capture the order information, then that information is saved in his database, in the sales database. The same way when the materials team procures the raw material, all the material information will be saved in their database, the materials department database. This production people, once they start building the laptop, whatever information they capture, that would be available in the production department's database. So as you can see, every department is connected to their own database. So that's a non-ERP setup. In ERP setup, all the departments are connected to the same database. Now what's the big deal if your departments are connected to the same database, or if they are connected to different database? What happens? So let's try to understand what issues we face in a non-ERP setup. Now, my sales guy gets me the orders.